The Envision Needham Center project encompasses the area of Great Plain Avenue from Warren Street to Linden Street. The intent of the redesign is to improve traffic flow, address drainage issues, widen sidewalks to bring them up to ADA compliance, upgrade underground infrastructure, improve pedestrian safety, and enhance amenities to help draw more foot traffic to support small businesses. After receiving community feedback last year, the Select Board directed the Envision Needham Working Group and Apex Consultants to develop 3 design alternatives: a 4-lane option, a 2-lane option with turn lanes, and a 2-lane option. The town held a public information session on February 4th to share the plans with the community. Here's more on the Phase 1 conceptual design alternatives.
We have divided the project area into 4 different sections. Section A and D, the most eastern and western edges, are the same for all 3 alternatives. Section B and C is really where those changes are going to be seen. The first diagram shows existing conditions. There are 13 existing parking spaces there today. The sidewalk width varies from 5 feet to 12 feet. And the average crossing distance, so the crosswalk lengths on Great Plain, are around 50 feet. Some parking spaces that are there right now that are against town's own regulations for how far a parking space needs to be from an intersection. This proposed design for Section A would provide 11 parking spaces. Sidewalk width could increase to 15 feet or so. And then the average crossing across Great Plain Avenue would be reduced to about 30 feet. Section B, which is the next section headed east. This first one, we're showing the 4-lane alternative, which would basically keep the 4 lanes as you have it today. There are 30 parking spaces existing. There's an average width of around 9 feet for the sidewalk widths. And the Great Plain Avenue crossing distance is about 65 feet. The proposed design for the 4-lane alternative would be to widen the sidewalks in select areas, particularly near the railroad crossing. 29 parking spaces would be provided. An average sidewalk width remains about 9 feet, and the Great Plain Avenue crossing distance remains at about 65 feet. For the proposed 2-lane plus turning lane alternative, 29 parking spaces are proposed. The average sidewalk width would increase to about 16 feet wide. Average crossing distance is decreased to 40 feet. So that's average across Great Plain Avenue. That's a difference of about 25 feet. And 2 lanes along Great Plain Avenue with the turn lane removed at Chapel Street and the pocket turn lane added along Great Plain Avenue onto Chapel Street, headed eastbound. That Chapel Street turning lane is removed in this scenario, which actually provides for more parking on Chapel Street. This next alternative is the 2-lane alternative. It's a 3rd alternative. This provides much wider sidewalk areas. We have 31 proposed parking spaces, and the average sidewalk widths are about 20 feet wide, and the average crossing distances are around 32 feet across Great Plain Avenue. So this is just 2 lanes in each direction and with no turning pockets. This is, again, the 4-lane alternative. So if we're looking at that, existing conditions there are about 34 parking spaces. Average sidewalk width is about 10 feet, and the average Great Plain Avenue crossing distance is 65 to 75 feet. With the 4-lane alternative proposed plan, the section that is not shaded would not be touched at all. That would remain exactly the way it is today with no improvements. But moving towards Dedham Avenue, there would be some work done on the Dedham Avenue corner and intersection where that right hand, what we call a slip lane, would be removed and that corner would be extended. This provides 37 proposed parking spaces. Average sidewalk width increases to about 12 feet and the average crossing distance at about 65 feet. So some areas would get a shorter crossing distance there. A lot of the improvements are east of Dedham Avenue. Section C is the center section. The 2-lane alternative here proposed, so it's just 2 lanes plus turning lanes right in front of the park where you've got left turning lanes there for cars turning. That is about 42 spaces there. The average sidewalk width increases to about 16 feet wide, and the crossing distances are reduced to 35 to 60 feet there. Again, section D is the same for all 3 alternatives. Here we have about 21 parking spaces out there today. Average sidewalk width, 7 to 10 feet, depending on which side you're on. And the average Great Plain Avenue crossing distance is 45 to 55 feet. With the proposed plan, there will be 20 proposed spaces. Average sidewalk widths increase to 10 to 15 feet wide, and the crossing distances there decrease to about 25 feet. The project website has a lot of resources. All of the up-to-date information is on that website. We will be asking for input on a townwide survey. This is intended for residents, students, employees, business owners, anyone who wants to input on this project.